Silver and gold. There's still some of us drinking the Kool-Aid, and I have a lot of faith in it. I think it's going up. It's not just a matter of faith, like a religious thing, but there's other reasons I got. And I smell a fake out and a scam that when they talked about QE possibly ending, those are the inside guys playing that game. And when the major media cherry picks statements from the Federal Reserve meeting about QE ending. And then all of a sudden, you got the professional sharks in the market, shorting the market. Hey, there's something else coming up, so I'm continuing to drink the Kool-Aid, but I'm not going to get drunk on it like that's going to excess, because if silver and gold go way up, I'm not going to be afraid to sell some. Hey, that's just how I am, Hey, it's not like the be-all, end-all savior of the world, but for now, it's a damn smart investment for at least several years. Well, let me get into Fitch's statement real quick here. This is like a gobbledygook statement, but I'll just tell you what the end result is after. But this is right from Fitch, the ratings agency, the ones that rates our debt. One of the ones, Standard & Poor's, Moody's, Fitch, right? It goes on to state, it is not assured that the Treasury would or legally could prioritize debt service over its myriad of other obligations, including Social Security payments, tax rebates, and payments to contractors and employees. Arrears on such obligations would not constitute a default event from a sovereign rating perspective, but very likely prompt a downgrade even as debt obligations continue to be met. Now, something else they're talking about, in other words, they're bringing up the word downgrade, haha. Well, haha, but you know what that means? Good for gold, right? And also silver, because they're working together pretty much. Now, the other thing is with if there is a downgrade, but where it could come about is from the refight that's coming up over the debt ceiling, because Fitch is saying if you don't raise the debt ceiling, we're downgrading. Forget it. If you fight over the debt ceiling and you hit the debt ceiling and you're still fighting over the budget and you don't raise it, we're definitely downgrading. So, but there's other, and not to say that they're wrong in principle, but there's certain Republicans out there that say that they're going to, I might be in politics here, but there's certain Republicans out there that say that, they're going to have to make cuts, they're going to make cuts, and we're going to shut the government down. So this is going to be a tough fight. So it might turn out that, they hit the debt ceiling or it doesn't get raised. If that happens, lo and behold, Fitch is going to downgrade. Moody's might downgrade too. Who knows? But Fitch is actually talking about it openly, and which means that, hey, it might happen. Just them talking about it is actually probably raising some of the metals up right now, because you're looking at the metals going up, and platinum, 2%, right? So the ratio is helping out, and you got the Dow down slightly, so the opposite effect. But I'm not playing cheerleader. What I'm playing here is like reality, and the metals are up because of like what Fitch is saying. That's part of the reason. But actually productivity along in the world is not that great, but it's the debt situation. It's continued in that respect longer and longer. So this is in for a long ride. Just like on a bike, it's like you're just going to have to chill out, take a breather once in a while. Sometimes, when it's going uphill, you got to chill out, and things aren't going full steam ahead, and you hit the downhill and you're fine. So that's basically how it works, right? I mean, you're in for a long ride. It's a long race, and it's not something, this one doesn't show too much butt, so, you guys, whoever you're Christians and crazy people, I don't know Christians, but some people get all bent out of shape about something because they had something flagged and I peeled it, but I don't know if they're going to fix it, but who knows. Anyway, I'm into bikes and health, too, so, this isn't all about silver. I make colloidal silver. I got 3 containers of it over here, too, so... But just a little common sense on these markets. You don't want to get drunk drinking Kool-Aid like it's like nothing, like silver and gold. You don't want to keep stacking every freaking time it goes down and stuff. I mean, you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. That's a little crazy. But it is smart to be heavily into gold and silver, and I'm talking at least 25%. If Mark Farber's doing that and a lot of his top Jewish business people are doing that, hey, it's a smart thing to do. Now, I want to talk a little bit. Well, I don't want to. You know what? I figured I'm going to bitch. Well, I'm not going to bitch. But I know the video. I think the video wasn't flagged for religious purposes or anything like that. I think it was actually people. Actually got a few thousand hits. It's typical, like my style. I usually put the riding with the bicycles and the bikinis and stuff like that on the videos. But it got like almost 3,000 hits, which is a lot for me. So, I don't tend to think it's a religious people that did it. I tend to think it was Silver, somebody who don't want me talking about this stuff. You know what I mean? Anyway, but I want to get into this thing because I really don't have nothing against religious people, but they get crazy sometimes. I'm just going to point this out because I thought it was funny. On May 19th, 1780, a heavy gloom fell over New England, prompting a religious group known as the Shakers to believe Judgment Day had come. Just like, Silver's waiting for Judgment Day to come, get up to 500 an ounce or more. Through the unusual blackened sky, later called the Dark Day, which was most likely caused by a mix of smoke from forest fires and heavy fog, it sent the religious sect on a mission to spread their message of celibacy as a path to redemption. So buying silver and celibacy is a path to redemption? I don't know. I don't really... I think it's a smart investment for now, at least for the next several years. Probably the height is going to, I'm thinking, as a guesstimate, the height is going to be around 2017. You're going to look back, just like old girls looking back, and you say, wow, I remember when it was back when it was cheap as 30-something, and it's going to be way the hell up there. But then you got to be not afraid to unload it, which I'm going to be afraid to unload it too. Because, when something's up that high, it's like you want to hang on to it, but you got to be not afraid to unload it. And there's going to be something out there that you can purchase with that money that's going to be smarter than silver, because it'll be too far ahead of itself. But I also want to point out something else, a little side note. I know, like, even on YouTube, it's not YouTube doing this or censoring anything, and, it's like there's actually people out there that, they don't like competition. They'll do this even on Craigslist. You could be selling antiques on Craigslist, just flag you because, you're whatever, they don't want you around as your competition because you're an antique dealer too, So there's a lot of people that do shit like that, and it's just spiteful. And, I mentioned about the religious and the celibacy. There's actually people that do that in the porn industry, believe it or not, in the porn industry. They just don't want, somebody's getting a little bit better at something or doing a lot of work on something. They don't want the competition. So I figured that video was more flagged over the number of hits because, it had, it was only like couple dislikes and there was a whole bunch of likes, and it was like all positive because basically it was about Ben Bernanke was scaring the crap out of the markets with him saying he was going to end QE, and you got to be smarter than that. You know what I mean? You got to be smarter than that. You got to realize that the market fundamentals are strong as all hell. The debt ceiling's coming up. The fiscal cliff was coming up. We didn't go through that. We went through the fiscal pork barrel. They just added more to the deal. So that's basically what the deal is. So, we just got to look at what the future is going to hold with this. So, but I figure sometimes, you're going to have problems with competition, and that's really what it is. But anyway, just hang on with this stuff because I think it's going to be a surprise ride. Silver always fakes us out. It can actually go to 60, 70 or some crap this year, but it should be around 40 for the silver miners to make money. So it's definitely got to float up some. It definitely has to, or else the miners are going to go out of business at this price. It ain't going to, oil and stuff is going up, and silver mining and all mining is very energy intensive. So if the oil's going up, they need to pass the cost on to the consumer. So just hang on. It's a long ride. It's like you're in a race basically, and you got to hang on for a long time for it to continue. And it's not something that's going to happen right away. Any of these people start talking about silver's going to the moon and it's going to get you rich real fast. That might be for certain spurts, but you know what? When they start telling you about it, it's after it took the freaking rise. It's after it took the rise, and then it's getting dangerous. Right now it's a hell of a lot safer because it's low and the market sentiment is kind of crappy. So it's actually silver and gold right now is pretty safe stuff because the market sentiment is not that great.